2023 location shot.
It happened pretty quick.
Hail.
30 seconds to yard.
Surveillance cameras captured a black 2018 Toyota Camry turning onto a quiet industrial road in Strongsville, Ohio, at roughly 5:30 in the morning on July 31st, 2022. Within seconds, the vehicle accelerated. It did not slow. It did not brake. 6 minutes after leaving a friend's house, the car struck the brick wall of a commercial building at close to 100 miles per hour. 2 of the 3 people inside were killed on impact. The driver survived the impact. What the footage could not answer, what prosecutors spent more than a year trying to prove in open court, was whether that moment was a tragic accident or whether someone in that car had made a deliberate decision that it would happen. Mackenzie Sherilla was 17 years old on the morning of the crash, a recent graduate of Strongsville High School. She had been in a relationship with Dominic Russo, 20, for approximately 4 years. Russo was an aspiring music producer who, according to family members, was close to his siblings and had begun building a path toward a career in music. Davion Flanagan, 19, was a mutual friend who had spent the evening with the group. Both Russo and Flanagan were passengers in Sherilla's car. Both died at the scene. Sherilla was pinned inside the wreckage, unconscious, and transported to a hospital where she survived serious injuries. The relationship between Sherilla and Russo had a documented history of conflict. Investigators later reviewed approximately 93,000 text messages exchanged between the two, sent between January 2020 and the night of July 30th, 2022. Those messages reveal recurring cycles of argument, threats of separation, and reconciliation. On July 2nd, 2022, less than a month before the crash, Russo texted Sherilla that he no longer believed the relationship could continue. He wrote that the fighting had become a weekly pattern and that he wanted them both to find happiness elsewhere. He walked that back within the same exchange. Russo's family told investigators that roughly 6 months before the crash, the tension escalated significantly. A family friend sent to pick Russo up during one incident reported hearing Sherilla shout that she was going to wreck the car and observed her striking him. Prosecutors argued this documented pattern established the context for what followed. On the evening of July 30th, 2022, Sherilla, Russo, and Flanagan attended a graduation party at a friend's home, arriving around 10:15 p.m. The group later moved to a second location where they spent the night listening to music and smoking marijuana. Friends who testified at trial described the gathering as relaxed and unremarkable. No evidence of alcohol consumption by the 3 that night was established at trial, though all had marijuana in their systems at the time of the crash. Around 5:30 a.m. on July 31st, Sherilla and Russo prepared to leave. Flanagan joined them. Sherilla drove. Russo sat in the front passenger seat. Flanagan was in the rear. What happened inside the car during the 6 minutes that followed was never established at trial. The route was partially captured on surveillance, and the final seconds were recorded by a security camera mounted at a neighboring business. The evidence assembled by prosecutors across 8 months of investigation became the core of the trial. Surveillance footage was central. The judge would later describe it as the most critical exhibit, video showing the car moving at a normal, controlled speed before making a deliberate turn onto a dead-end industrial road, then accelerating hard toward the building with no deviation in its path. The vehicle's event data recorder, the car's onboard black box, confirmed what the footage showed. In the final seconds before impact, the accelerator pedal was pressed to its full extent, and no brake input was recorded at any point. A certified forensic mechanic testified to those findings under oath. Life 360 tracking data from Davion Flanagan's phone, provided to investigators by a friend connected to his account, showed him moving at approximately 90 miles per hour moments before impact, with movement ending abruptly at 5:36 a.m. GPS data from Sherilla's own phone placed her device in the same obscure industrial area on July 28th, 3 days before the crash, a route the court described as one she did not routinely travel. Russo and Flanagan were not wearing seatbelts. Sherilla was. The defense offered an alternative explanation, that Sherilla lost consciousness briefly due to a blood pressure condition called postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. No medical records or expert testimony corroborated that diagnosis at trial. Prosecutors argued the pre-crash GPS data, the sustained acceleration, and the total absence of any steering correction or braking were incompatible with a sudden medical episode. Sharilla waived her right to a jury trial and elected a bench trial before Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Judge Nancy Margaret Russo. The trial began August 7, 2023. Prosecutors argued the crash was deliberate, driven by the fractured relationship with Dominic Russo, and corroborated by both physical and digital evidence. The defense maintained the event was accidental or medically caused. Sharilla did not take the stand. On August 14, 2023, Judge Russo found Sharilla guilty on all 12 felony counts, including 4 counts of murder, 4 counts of felonious assault, and 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide. The judge stated from the bench that the crash was not reckless driving but murder. At sentencing 1 week later, Judge Russo imposed 2 concurrent sentences of 15 years to life, describing the actions as controlled, methodical, and deliberate. Sharilla's first eligible parole hearing is scheduled for September 2037. The 8th District Court of Appeals upheld the conviction in September 2024. The Ohio Supreme Court declined jurisdiction twice, most recently in June 2026. The conviction stands intact. The security camera outside that Strongsville building recorded the final approach. The car arrived at speed. It did not turn. It did not slow. A court found that what the footage captures is not a loss of control. It is a vehicle held on a precise heading at close to 100 miles per hour until it struck a wall. Dominic Russo was 20 years old. Davion Flanagan was 19. The camera cannot tell us what passed between them in those final seconds. It can only confirm where the accelerator was and that no one ever pressed the brake.